Hello, everyone. Ex-Wallkill Bethelite here, and I'm going to give you my personal opinion on the Kingdom Hall that was shot up with the six Jehovah's Witnesses dying as a result. And this is my personal view. This does not reflect anybody else in the community. This is my personal opinion as an individual. And for people who may not know who Jehovah's Witnesses are, those are the people who, if you want to leave their church or you just don't want to be a part of any church, they use shunning. It's hard to just leave the Jehovah's Witnesses because they use what's called shunning or disfellowshipping to try and destroy your relationships with family, with friends, with people you've known your whole life. These are the people who, if you try to leave their religion, they try to, in an instant, take everybody that you love away from you that they can. Right? Those are the people that go knocking on doors with watchtowers. Just so we're clear, those are the people who got shot up. At least 6 of them dead. And this is my personal view. Are you ready? Aha! Aha! How does it feel when Jehovah's Witnesses lose someone that they care for and love in an instant? How does it feel? That's what I want to know. How does it feel when the Jehovah's Witness is the one on the receiving end of losing someone that they care about, that they don't have the option to be able to talk to anymore, because that's what they've been doing to other people for over 100 years. I don't feel sympathy. When I heard about it, personally, when I heard about it, I don't feel sympathy for them cult members at all. Not one bit of sympathy for people who treat others the way Jehovah's Witnesses treat former members of their religion. Now, of course, I don't condone shooting. I don't condone violence. I don't condone the actual act of shooting people. It wouldn't make sense at all for me to condone the actual act of violence itself and the inhumane treatment of people when for about 6 or 7 years I've been speaking out about the Jehovah's Witnesses and their inhumane treatment of others. They're destroying families through the shunning and disfellowshipping practices. So it wouldn't make sense for me to speak out against the Jehovah's Witnesses and their inhumane treatment of others while at the same time condoning violent acts against other people. But I have zero sympathy for the cult members that got shot up in that Kingdom Hall. Most people wonder why this doesn't happen more often with the way that they treat people, with the way that they destroy families. And I don't want to hear any crying or complaining from Jehovah's Witnesses, a group of people who think it's okay to treat their family, their actual family, like they're dead. They literally will treat a mother, a father, a son, or a daughter or a brother or a sister like they are dead just because they don't agree with or want to be a part of their religion. Now, it's not illegal for Jehovah's Witnesses to shun and to destroy families. So they can do it even though we advocate against it. There's no law that says a religion can't use its influence over its members to try to turn people's families against somebody if they want to leave their church. It's not illegal. Just like it's not illegal for me not to care when they get shot. It's not illegal for me to drive past a Kingdom Hall and yell, "Ahhhhh, ahhhhh, y'all got y'all folks hit. Y'all need to clean up them bodies." That's what they need to do. They need to go to the Kingdom Hall and clean up all them dead body. Just like they've been saying for years and years and years that after Armageddon, they're going to clean up all the dead bodies. They have a teaching that God is going to kill everyone on earth that's not a Jehovah's Witness, and they call that Armageddon. And they say that after Armageddon, they're going to clean up all the dead bodies of all the millions, probably billions of people out laying on the ground. This is what Jehovah's Witnesses think is okay to teach. That they're just going to be callous and cold and clean up all these people's dead bodies and live in these people's homes and take these people's possessions after they're killed because they're not a member of the Jehovah Witness cult, right? So they need to keep that same energy now. Keep the same energy y'all been talking about for 100 years that y'all just gonna clean up bodies. Go to the Kingdom Hall. Y'all need to just all get in a plane, go to Germany, and clean up them dead body. Don't leave it for the paramedics. Don't leave it to the police. Y'all been saying all this time that y'all gonna clean up all their bodies after Armageddon because they're not members of your church and that God's going to kill them. So now keep that same energy and take your watchtower reading behinds over there and pick up y'all's members. Pick all 6 of them up. Clean up them dead body. Clean up all the blood, guts, and brain particle. Clean all that stuff up because this is what y'all said that y'all were going to do. I don't remember the shooter's name right off the top of my head. I know some of you guys know it. But off the top of my head, I don't remember the shooter's name. So we can just call him, we'll call the shooter Brother Blickham. Now, I hear that Brother Blickham, we'll do this in Stephen Lett style. So this is as if you're watching Stephen Lett here. Remember, we're calling the shooter Brother Blickham because this was a Jehovah's Witness, basically, that shot everybody up. So I hear Brother Blickham had y'all running and tripping all over the place and falling over y'all's meeting bags, brothers. The elders and pioneers were pushing old people out the way to try to get away from those bullets. But y'all know damn well y'all can't duck bullets in the Kingdom Hall. The Kingdom Hall is too small for y'all to be trying to run around and duck them bullets. So, brothers, how does it feel? Some people say that bullets are the enemy of God. How does it feel for you to lose loved ones that you care for in an instant? You don't care whether other people lose their families through your shunning and disfellowshipping policies, right? All right, I can't do Steph and Let anymore. But I hear that Brother Blickham had to report time, right? You know how Jehovah's Witnesses have to report their field service time. So I hear Brother Blickham, after he finished the shooting, before he, offed himself, he had to fill out a field service time slip. And on that slip, he filled out headshots. You write those down and record them to turn into Bethel. You fill in the leg shots, right? You fill those in. All the bullet studies, right? The people that you offered a free Kingdom Hall bullet study to, you write all those down. And Brother Blickham, I hear his field service report was more productive than anybody else's in the congregation, right? Right? Aha, that's what y'all get. Just like when you talk to your family about how you feel about having been shunned, I know people personally who physically suffer as a result of being shunned and their relatives not speaking to them anymore. There's people who have issues and they haven't eaten, and you got people in hospitals because of the shunning and disfellowshipping, because it's hard for them to live with it. You have people who have killed themselves, and Jehovah's Witnesses do not care at all. So I don't care at all that Brother Blickham went through and shot all his ops, right? Because it's that's what y'all get. How do y'all like it? Jehovah's Witnesses, get this, after this event, how silly this sounds. Jehovah's Witnesses all these years used to think that the Smurfs and Harry Potter and cartoons were demonized. Literally, these people used to be afraid of the Smurfs and all kinds of cartoons and things like that. But Brother Blickham went into that Kingdom Hall, locked the doors, and showed them what a real demon looked like. Now you got something to actually be afraid of other than the Smurfs. Because Brother Blickham went into that Kingdom Hall and started erasing names out of the book of life. Now, while Jehovah's Witnesses destroy families with shunning and disfellowshipping, they like to use a scripture. The scripture I've heard my entire life, because these people are not innocent. They know disfellowshipping and shunning causes a lot of psychological damage to people. They don't care. They just found a scripture that they like to use to back it up, right? And the scripture I've heard my entire life is Matthew chapter 10, and I believe it is verse 34. And I will paraphrase that. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 says something to the effect that I came not to bring peace, but a sword. Well, Philip, allegedly, the shooter's name was Philip, who we call Brother Blickham. Philip came not to bring peace, but to blow y'all out y'all's meeting clothes. So that can be my favorite scripture now also, right? Jehovah's Witnesses want to complain and act like they're the victim. We'll use the same scripture they like to use when they destroy families and treat people like they're dead. We'll use Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. For Brother Blickham came not to bring peace, obviously, but to blow y'all out y'all's old dirty meeting clothes, right? And those Jehovah's Witnesses, by the definition of the word innocent, they're not innocent. Because an innocent person suffers for something that they have no involvement in at all. That's an innocent person. But Jehovah's Witnesses are directly involved with and participate in the shunning, the disfellowshipping, and the depression and the mental state that those types of activities cause. They participate in it, right? The people who don't believe in it, well, they should not support an organization who uses something that we would call psychological torture to try to keep people from leaving their religion, right? If you're a Christian, you shouldn't be a part of that. But usually when I talk to Jehovah's Witnesses about the things that they do to people, how they treat people, they don't care. It's not illegal, so they can do it, is how they feel about it. They're not innocent. They know full well that a relative not speaking to someone who is a close family member for a decade because that person didn't want to join their cult, they know full well this does not have a positive effect on this person mentally. They just don't care. So these people are far from innocent, right? And this is going on, the shunning and things like that going all over the world. So it's a large number of people involved with that. They're not innocent. They're not innocent at all. I just hope no one was in that hall that was what we call physically in but mentally out. Someone who didn't believe it, wasn't taking part of it in all the shunning, but was maybe there because they're trying not to get shunned themselves. If shunning wasn't a big deal, because Jehovah's Witnesses love to lie and say, oh, we don't all shun. If shunning wasn't such a big deal, you wouldn't have people that we all call physically in, mentally out. Like they're mentally, they don't want to be a part of the Jehovah's Witness cult, but physically they can't get away from it without being shunned. That's how prevalent shunning is. They don't want to lose their family because they don't want to be a part of the religion, right? That's how prevalent it is. So don't let Jehovah's Witnesses lie to you and say, oh, we don't shun. We don't do that. Some people do it, but not most people. Most people in that religion shun others. So I could care less, you know. My view, my personal view is, aha, all that shunning got y'all members hit up. Just pick all 6 of them up and keep it pushing. And you know, the leadership of Jehovah Witnesses Watchtower, they're not paying for them funerals. I seriously doubt they're paying for them funerals. I doubt they're paying for any of them caskets. I doubt Watchtower care. I can guarantee you, Watchtower, the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, they care less than I do. Samuel Turd and Stephen Lett and all of them, they care less than I do about them people that got hit up based off their policies. As long as it don't affect them, they don't care themselves. For the longest time, people in the old days, they wouldn't know who the governing body were. They would just blindly obey. They didn't know who the governing body were at all. But now that we have the broadcast, you can see who they are. You can see the governing body. And you can see that they are weird as the fuck. So people who decide that they want to follow Stephen Lett, as crazy as he looks, are the same type of people who would have followed the Heaven's Gate cult leader, as crazy as he looked, and did anything he said. Right? These people don't care how they affect others. But another thing is that if a Kingdom Hall, can be shot up with y'all in it, you can't say Jehovah would not allow things to go on in the organization. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses love to say. Oh, Jehovah would never allow that in our organization. Well, if a hall with y'all in it just got lit up and 6 of y'all with it, y'all can no longer say Jehovah would not allow things to go on in the organization, like, for example, child molestation. The whole Jehovah would not allow it to go on in the organization, saying is now an obvious false teaching, because Jehovah obviously allows y'all to get blicked in the congregation. So why wouldn't he allow the molestation that we've been trying to tell y'all has been going on and everything else? And all the things that go on at Bethel that I've been trying to tell people about. If Jehovah allows y'all to get blicked, then he allowed everything else that we've been telling y'all about. So that's a false teaching. Well, Jehovah wouldn't allow it, or Jehovah would do this, or Jehovah would fix it. He ain't fixed not one of them 6 Jehovah's Witnesses that they probably putting embalming fluid in right now. So all that Jehovah gonna fix it stuff is out the window. This is reality. We're dealing with reality here. So my view is, if you play stupid games, you win a stupid prize. And Jehovah's Witnesses play stupid games like disfellowshipping and shunning and treating people as if they were dead because they don't want to be a part of their religion. And since they play stupid games like that, they won a stupid prize. They won the jackpot, right? Brother Blickham provided them with their winnings from playing stupid games. So Jehovah's Witnesses like to also say that shunning is loving. So by that logic, They say that a mother or father not talking to their child for like 10 years or more, 20 years, treating their kid as if they're dead because they don't want to be a part of their religion. Jehovah's Witnesses say that that's loving treatment. So by that logic, when Brother Blickham went in the hall and lit 6 of them up and turned all 6 of those Jehovah's Witnesses into irregular publishers, well, that wasn't harsh treatment at all. It was actually really quite loving. That brother was so loving, the way he blicked them all down like that. So, again, this is my personal opinion, right? Jehovah's Witnesses, they feel like they can be as cruel as the law allows. Well, I don't condone shooting or anything like that, but when it happens to Jehovah's Witnesses, it ain't illegal for me not to care. It ain't illegal for me at all to say, aha, that's what y'all get. Y'all shouldn't be shunning and doing things to people that's going to cause mental illness. So they can't say that they're a victim. This did not happen because a government did that to them. This did not happen because a different church shot them up. They can't say it's persecution when they caused it. This was one of their members. They can't play the persecution role, right? You guys, Jehovah's Witnesses, persecute people who want to leave, and y'all just finally got the results of what happens when y'all mess with people's lives. Elders telling people who they can and can't marry and trying to mess up marriages that they don't like and just doing all kinds of things. I got a stepdad, who's an elder, and he on his 3rd marriage, right? So they're not all holy and good. Otherwise, he wouldn't be an elder after being on his 3rd wife, and none of them passed away, right? According to Jehovah's Witnesses, he couldn't have 3 wives unless somebody committed adultery, like he cheating on all of them, sleeping around and doing crazy stuff like that. And then they made him an elder after that. Well, if Brother Blickham hadn't shot himself, per the Jehovah's Witness way of doing things, they could have made Brother Blickham an elder after he done shot all 6 of them JWs, because you know, they only decide to shun someone for doing something when they feel like it, right? But when they feel like making somebody an elder who's on their 3rd wife and all kinds of stuff like that, and then this person has the nerve to shun other people, it didn't even make sense. It does not even make sense. Jehovah's Witnesses could easily just, if a person does something that they don't feel is upright, they could just not allow them to give talks and have a role or a position in their church. They could easily just do that. But no, they want to try and be as cruel as possible, right? And break up families and try to destroy this person's relationships with others as much as they possibly can if he tries to leave. So, pick up the dead bodies. X-Wall Kill Bethelite signing out. 937-789-4029. We'll discuss it.